I, I mean,
Yeah,
we
go ahead.
we we all have love, if you say like a motherly love, or the way we love our kids. But yeah, that 36 is the unconditional love, where it's very hard to reach
Mm-hmm.
unconditionally to everybody, not just to our own kids, you know just to anybody and anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is when you can become one with Shiva, I think. Like, you don't differentiate,
Yeah.
which is very hard, because even though we are in spiritual or whatever, like, mm, there are instances where you
No,
lack.
those are the intense instances which actually enforce that you have to come back.
Come back, yeah. But one nice thing is, we as light workers, we as meditators, immediately, I don't know, like, I think we all do. We immediately, when the thought is coming, which is not correct, we immediately correct it there itself. Like, we realize it. Oops, what I'm saying is not right, or what I'm thinking is not right, what I'm, doing is not right. That awareness has developed in all of us, I feel.
Quite likely. I mean, not surprising.
Yeah, I think we are heading towards that, but
Now,
hopefully.
see, every book that we are reading, every topic that we are discussing
Mm,
is like a manifestation of all roads lead to Rome,
yes.
right? So, when we take that approach of a universal impact of a particular topic, um, particular concept, end of the day, we see all of them merging in that direction. That is why we feel like,
Yeah.
okay. So, Kirti, what have you done?
Mm, have done what, sir?
You have done something, some Vasikarna. Well, I see a lot of new faces today, new names.
Whoever
Right, I
wants to know,
said,
they are coming,
yeah, I
sir.
know. No, no. Kavita is a new name. Vinita is a new name. Right? I mean, Uma, she said she has joined, leaving something. So, something you're doing. What are you doing? May I know?
Not me, sir. Somebody sitting somewhere is doing. I'm just playing a
I
role.
don't know. Why, he's getting it done through you. Anyway, right? So, yeah, anyone who has read this, because I need to be careful. If you are not read, I can talk anything. Otherwise, I have to talk specific to the subject.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last week, I think there was one point of, I don't know if we can talk about it or not today.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I think how dharma or duty comes, or what's the relation, or if there is a relation with unconditional love.
Mhm. I'm not able to get the question still.
So, for example, maybe we can take a mother
Mhm.
and a kid, probably.
Yeah.
Of course, your own kid, you'll have that unconditional love.
Mm.
And also, you'll have a duty, or I'm thinking, how should I put this?
Okay, I got the question. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you define unconditional love?
No
Given,
expectations, no
no, given
returns.
the fact that you are a mother,
Mhm.
you have your children and you have others,
Mm.
right? Will
Yeah.
your Right? Now, beautiful question. I'll tell you why. The way Seth is talking about the concept of love, the secret which is hidden within, etc. He beautifully says, see, you are having your own, that is the biological children. For you to love, learn the characteristics of love which transcends all conditions. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, F1 is your physical reality, right?
Mm.
And F2 is your non-physical reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, F1 is created for you to learn and display what you have learned given a F2 scenario.
Mm.
Only when, because he considers the path between the physical reality and non-physical reality to be a set of dots. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So if you put various flavors of dots in between, which in other words means various colors and conditions, and you are not changing, and the characteristics and the approach you are displaying towards all these dots, only when you are able to give it the equal weightage, then you are displaying unconditional love. Got it? The
Yeah.
moment a variation is coming in, this happens to be the theme of the rest of the three concepts that are left over, or connecting the dots, the violations, etc. When you don't display that, when you see a difference, as Sheila ma'am was saying, right? You
Yes, sir.
start feeling that you are violating, you are deviating.
Mm.
So let us read this topic. The same thing is actually accentuated. The same thing is explained in a deeper manner when we read.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, sir.
what are violations and natural guilt? Right? The magical emotional reality is that we begin to guide our choices of behavior when it comes to helping and not harming others. Now, helping others is a display of love. Okay? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, helping others is you are displaying a sort of a energy which you are calling love. Right? Suppose the same thing is harming somebody. You realize that that is detrimental to the quality that you want to display. It is a deviation from the quality, right? So you have changed the flavor, right?
Right.
And that is not the objective, right? Based on the concepts of what Seth calls violations and natural guilt. You feel differently in a natural manner, that becomes your natural guilt. Okay? So what is he saying? These are the two most misunderstood Seth concepts, right? They are not found in the material of any other entity speaking today. Okay, that's fine, right? A violation is that which violates your own nature of love, compassion, and goodness. That means you have brought in a variation. As beautiful question, both you and Sheila ma'am, thanks. I was wondering how I will start this topic. It's a dry topic, right? You both, your questions actually gave me the answers.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you, sir. Mm.
Yeah. Before repeating, a harmful act, urging us not to do it before again, that becomes the natural guilt. It tells us you're deviating, this is not you're supposed to do. When those feelings start emerging within you, expressed or not, right? That becomes the guiding principle of connecting the dots. That explains the violation and natural guilt, right? Something inside nudges us, tugs at us, urges us not to repeat it, not to harm others. And this eventually makes our choice to harm or not a conscious choice. Right? You're with me? This inner tugging is natural guilt. You're getting the definition of both, right?
Mm.
Right? The whole
Yes.
purpose of this instinct of natural guilt, as we make our repeated inner tag team reincarnational journey. So that means unless you have completely withered away from that quality of harming others, unless you have completely withered away, you will keep on coming back with reincarnational journeys of self-awareness in all the lifetimes. There will be some iota of it that we will have to search for. Right? That's what he says, is to turn each self and therefore all human beings into metaphorical self-maps, which guide our actions to be in harmony with these three important qualities. Right? So that becomes the understanding of violation and natural guilt. Right? We created and installed in it. What is that it in life or the journey as our own human instinct in order to guide us precisely in that direction. Now, that seems extremely important. That is the objective behind the importance of violations and natural guilt. It is not for you to meet your inner attachment-oriented needs. It could be greed, it could be the manifestation of the 6 Arshad Vargas or passions. Are you with me? Yeah. Everyone with me?
Yes.
Right. So, we needed it and so we created it. We are the ones who have created it, and the objective behind that is learning the impact of violations so that we don't deviate from the purpose of life, which is oriented towards the quality of love. And every time we go against it, something is there which nudges us. That is the natural guilt. Okay. Thanks for
Sir.
the question. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to bring out this dry topic into so much of meaning. Yeah. Ramakrishna Garu.
Yeah, this is a great concept, because if you look at the characters of Mahabharata, many of them have the natural guilt, but
Yes.
they were all bound to do some bad action because of some compulsion or an attachment. That is
Correct.
basically the Rajadharma they were following, and as a result of that, they were doing the bad actions knowing fully well. Like if you take the Dronacharya, Kupacharya, Bhishma, they all knew very well that they were doing wrong things. But
No, in fact, let me put it the other way around. Mahabharata is one book which teaches you what not to do rather than what to do.
yes,
Very profound, no?
yes,
In my understanding, which is very minimal, it actually is teaching us much more,
yeah,
right? So now he says, for what reasons do we need physical reality? What are those? So he says, let's say, remember, we already had non-physical reality, but it wasn't enough. Why was it not enough? Tell me. We experience it every moment in our life. What is that? Think of some examples.
Is it breath?
No. See, you are now bringing in the reasons why do you need physical reality. What would happen if you didn't have physical reality? Let's start there.
We can't experience anything without the physical reality.
Exactly. Right. Now, it's like, let us say we have to prepare for a lecture. But there is no listener. Do you think you can lecture? Or you have to prepare a dish. Let us say you have to prepare a dish, but there is no one who is going to eat it.
I prepare many things for myself.
No,
It's a wrong example.
even you are not there physically to eat
Oh,
it,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
right? So, what you have in your non-physical reality needs to be projected into a real physical reality for you to undergo the for you to undergo the actual experience of it. And what is the third outcome? While experiencing, what is the outcome?
Realization.
Okay, that is another name, but fundamentally you can say it is learning.
Learning. Yeah.
Right? So let us see what he says. We have created our answers. Let us see what he says about it, right? 1. So that we have linear time in the first place, because we need time on this physical earth without which we cannot learn. Linear time allows us to have a pause of reflection before we act. Okay? That means you are able to think before you act. So that becomes one reason. Two, we also need a physical reality in which to act, react, and interact with others. Right? So, if you don't have the physical reality, the other three are not there. You can't act, you can't interact, and that too with others. Okay? There can't be reaction. Again, the quality of your learning will be limited. Let's bring in one more. Seth. In his enunciation on the 6th of November 1973, he says, when you decide to enter into physical existence, what is that? Your pre-birth plan. In your mind and in your consciousness, you form the frame within which you will operate. Okay? So you have created your destiny, your purpose of life. You are not alone in that painting. You have not formed a reality in which yours is the isolate. That means only you are present. There are others present, the physical, non-physical. You have got other kinds. You have got rocks, minerals, you have got plants, you have got animals, you have got yourself, you have got other human beings. You are in a reality with others because you have chosen it. So, all of you together choose the frame about that painting. You have chosen a particular mass painting, a particular portrait of a century in which you play your part. Right? So that becomes part one. So that's 1 and 2 and 3. That's 1 and 2, in which you are there, you interact, you react, right? And you are exteriorizing whatever you have in F1. We need a physical reality in which vulnerability, suffering, and death could even exist in the first place. Why is that? In order to help us deeply understand how important it is not to cause suffering and so on, and how important it is instead how important it is to help others, because you are not expected to cause suffering to others. Are you getting the point? Right? Why is this? Because the stakes of vulnerability, suffering, and death are just too damn high to blink away. Your learning becomes comprehensive when these three are integrated. Just apply it to various scenarios of our life and take this approach. Do you think there will be suffering really if you take this approach? Just think for a moment.
No,
Because
but
this
that's very
is,
hard, sir, right?
yeah, no, it is hard. But see, you reduce the impact by changing your approach to this is acceptance. We all in our meditation, we talk about acceptance, forgiveness, regret, and gratitude and all. What are they? Have you ever thought about it? What are they?
Yeah, this is what it is explained here.
Yes. they are so high that it warrants a look at what Seth himself has said. What has he said? And causing harm or harming others, right? A fly is holier than a pope who caused death, or than a guru who whips you across your shoulder so that you can understand your guilt. And I speak in righteous anger on behalf of all creatures because I have been a creature many times. What is he saying? Look at the scenario from the other person's viewpoint. Not your POV, but their POV.
They say,
Only
no,
then.
self
Pardon?
place itself in the other person's shoes.
Yes, yes, the same thing. So, if to cause harm would make a pope unholy and to motivate Seth to feel and share his righteous anger at harming others, then it must be pretty bad to cause harm in the first place. And this sets the stage for why we did not, right, just create physical reality for its joys, orgasms, and beauty alone, but also for the possibility of harm. For us to understand what is this harm, what are all the various colors and flavors in which it demonstrates itself, makes itself visible to us. Are you all getting the point here?
Yes, sir.
This is
Like
such
you
a
say that
powerful.
it
Pardon?
to see experience
Yeah.
one experience in a 360-degree angle.
Exactly, yes.
So this is what he's saying.
Yeah, these are all the 12 windows that make a 360. Given that our eyes can only help us perceive 30% or 30 degrees, whichever way you look at it, right? Without the possibility of physical death, vulnerability and suffering, no one could ever be hurt, and there would be no need to help anyone or learn compassion. Nice, no? Yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Right. So here's what Seth says about the necessity of physical reality's vulnerability. The horror and the results of mismanagement and the vulnerability are the teaching methods that each consciousness has accepted before entering your system, the physical system. If no other field of reality, are the terms so drastic, for this reason, the inner self withholds much of its name. Why is the inner self withholding the reason? Your higher self is your inner self, right? Your higher self knows all the answers, and through the inner self, it is exposed to the inner self. But
For the learning
that
purpose.
for the purpose of learning, for the purpose of us realizing, experiencing, right? There must be no leaning upon the very basic F2 fact that behind and within the physical system, there is relief, right? You must believe in the physical reality and accept the vulnerability. That means those are the qualities of physical reality. From your physical system spring some of the most advanced of all identities. They go on and learn from other realities, granted, but yours is the hardest to manage, and those who accept it go off into a certain line of development where the potentials are beyond anything of which you can presently conceive. In your reality, you are vulnerable, agony is real, still, it is not the whole reality. What does that mean?
He's talking about two perspectives here.
Yes. He is talking about, though you are going to face that reality, right? As you progress, what is really happening is you are getting into a situation where your visits to earth will not be necessary. Yeah. So that's why we created a physical reality in the first place. To have a place where there is both linear time and vulnerability of matter and death, so that we can learn that as we create our own reality, which is part one of the secret and Seth's overall message, we are not to harm but rather help others, which is part two of the overall message. We are not here simply to learn that there is more to physical reality than meets the eye. We need physical reality on its terms, and that is why we created it, with its differences, with its many shades. For we already had non-physical reality. Now, for a minute, just bring in what are the three legs on which our PSSM stands?
Adhyaya, Sajjana Sangatya, and the meditation.
Meditation, right? If those are the three, is it implementing these three secrets very well? Is it implementing the three secrets very well? How beautifully Patriji has put these wisdom capsules together, right? So, along with this, instinct of natural guilt helps us to help and not harm others. Is the awareness that when we do harm others, we harm a part of ourselves as individuals, as a part of humankind, as a collective, and part of all that is. Aham Brahmasmi to Tattvamasi, right? All that is included in that. In short, we harm even one person. When we harm even one person, we harm ourselves and everyone. Right? And
Yeah, because
it also,
we are all part. We are all
we
connected.
are all one.
We're all
We
one.
are all one.
Yes.
We are all
Unified.
different shades of one.
Yes.
We are
One
all
consciousness.
different combinations. Yes. Right? In short, when we help even one, we help ourselves and everyone. And it is this growing awareness that helps us guide into acting in harmony with our nature, brings us joy in the process, making the process of helping and not harming a fun process. And together, this is Seth's and Whole Secret's overall message Yet, these things too have a further purpose. What is that purpose? Right? We are not here on this planet just to learn the whole secret, because it's a secret and we are curious. That is not the reason why we are here. We have not collectively or an oversoul level created the whole whole of physical reality and then sent for focal personalities throughout endless linear time periods just for the hell of it, but for a reason and a purpose, right? What is the purpose and plan? We did this day before yesterday, right? Or was it, yeah, it was yesterday, Sunday. Did we? Saturday night, what was our class? Plan and purpose of
Universe. Universe.
universe,
Universe.
right?
Yeah.
Right? You see both getting interconnected?
Mm.
Yeah, for a reason and purpose. And that purpose is not just to realize physical reality, is different from F2, the non-physical reality. And then to try to pretend that it is F2 or proudly define physical reality as an illusion and not real. That was not the purpose. As if we have finally caught the hidden canary of truth to wear as our feather of awareness. To the contrary, F1 or physical reality is not simply an illusion or a camouflage reality, to use Seth's term, but rather it is its own valid, crucial, and significant reality created for its differences, so that we can learn to act in harmony with our love, compassion, and goodness. And that's why what we are here to learn, and that's the hidden canary. Right? Can someone read this while my coffee doesn't get cold?
Yeah, I can read, sir. That session 759. Existence has a physical version. In that framework, you're born and die. And in a definite sequence, death is a physical reality. It is real, however, only in physical terms. That's session 284. One of the root agreements upon which physical existence is based is that physical objects have a reality that is entirely independent of any subjective cause, and that these objects within definitely specified limitations are permanent.
Yeah. So basically, what is he saying? On the root of agreement upon which physical existence is based is that physical objectives have a reality that is entirely independent of any subjective, the reason behind it. They have their existence and it is independent of the reason why they are. And that these objects within definitely specified limitations are permanent, right? Again, these differences are crucial to our choice of experiencing physical reality with our endless reincarnational cycle. The reason and purpose of the whole secret and of Seth's message is that once the whole secret is learned, we are then ready to leave physical reality behind to stop being human, so to speak. And that's a pretty significant purpose, to stop being human. This may sound scary, but it is not. It is not to lose your personality, your individuality, your love, compassion, joy, and goodness, but it is simply having no further need for a physical body to do so. Can you spend a few minutes on this? Any opinions on this? Any takeaways that we are getting out of this?
Does he mean that so from a human level we are ascending to a spiritual level by losing human personality?
Look, the answer is yes, but think about it slightly differently. In order to realize all those qualities, you
Mhm.
took a physical existence. You created a
Yes.
physical existence,
Yes.
right? So
Mhm.
that is the actual reason behind it.
Mhm.
That is what he's trying to communicate.
Yeah, in the first para, he said that is why
Yeah.
objects, even though they don't have connection with the subject,
Correct.
that is for
Right.
our learning. Yeah,
That's for the learning purpose,
yeah.
right? So he is only repeating that. So basically what is he saying? As a non-physical entity, you have always been there.
Mm-hmm.
But you may not have realized what you are as a non-physical entity.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's what basically don't get attached to this worldly things like
No,
body,
no, no,
mind.
no, 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 no,
Uh,
no, no.
mm.
What is the composition of the non-physical reality and this universe? What is the
Oh, okay.
basis? What is the basis? The
Thinking.
basis is love.
Love.
Oh,
Yeah.
thinking. Oh, love and okay. Basis is love.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the manifestation of love can be in 35 or 36 different colors,
Qualities.
hues, and flavors.
And the qualities, different qualities of divine qualities.
Correct. Right? So, for you to understand that, you needed a physical reality. That
Mm.
physical reality has gone through relationships, realizations, manifestations, injuries, and so on and so forth. So that you came polished and did not warrant any further need to learn anything about it. Very profound, right?
Yeah.
So deep, so profound. Yeah, right. The following is actually Setu speaking. What is Setu? You are being allowed freedom within limits. The human race is a state through which various forms of consciousness travel. You learn by seeing these turn into physical reality. You may be killed by what you have created. If so, the lesson is doubly learned. Before you can be allowed into systems of reality that are more extensive and open. If you have not learned, you have not gone through college, you are not eligible for the real world. That's what we are told, right? It's like that. You must first learn to handle energy and see through physical materializations the concrete result of thought and emotion. This is the first half of the secret. You create your own reality on reality's terms, on its terms, right? Okay. On our physical materialization terms, on our ability to create that. As a child forms mud pies from dirt, so you form your civilization out of thoughts and emotions. And then see what you have created. And you must deal with it on its terms, on the terms that you have created. Apply this sentence to artificial intelligence and the book that is going to get released tomorrow. by Greg Braden, which I will post in
Mm.
all our groups. See, all of you have contributed to it, so it should come. And I will also try to see if I can convert it to an audio book using the tool, right? So,
So
what
it's
are the
like
dangers of
we
that?
have
We don't, pardon?
we have created that. Now we have to deal with it
You
on
have
its
to learn
own
on
terms.
its terms.
Yeah.
And in other systems, energy, you have to create it on its own terms. You have to also apply it to other systems. Energy is more direct, more extensive, right? So where there is that scenario, you should know what to do, what not to do, how not to do, and so on, right? Consciousness has more freedom in its civilization. The lessons must be properly learned before such responsibility, right? When you are given too much freedom, right, you should have seen that. When you leave the physical system after reincarnation, you have learned the lessons and you are literally no longer a member of the human race in those terms, for you elect to leave it, right? That is why you are leaving it. In more advanced systems, thoughts and emotions are automatically and immediately translated into action. What is about to come as per Ariel about 40 to 50 years down the line. Right?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the thought itself, they can manifest.
They will manifest, right? Into whatever approximation of matter there exists. You can convert it that way. Right? Therefore, the lessons must be taught and learned well. This is the second half of the secret. You should help
should not
and
help
not
others.
harm others. So there is a theme, there is a direction in which you are going to move.
Should
right?
help and not
Okay.
harm.
And that's it in a nutshell. That is the purpose of Seth material and the whole secret. And what guidance does Seth give us here? He tells us that we are not to let our F2 or non-physical awareness supersede the physical experience. And we are not in the physical reality simply to realize that it is not F2 and then try to act as if or pretend it was F2, or to try to turn it into non-physical somehow. But rather, we are to use it as it is in its concrete terms in order to learn from it. And we have to learn two things from it. One, we create our own reality, and in doing so, we are to help others and not harm. Why? Because only then are we ready to leave the reincarnational cycle behind and move on to realms and dimensions in which reality creation is instant, expansive, and more intense, and something much more than we can ever imagine.
Yeah, I think, see what he's saying, once you learn, that you create your own reality, you don't blame others. Whatever happens to you, you do not harm or blame others mainly, because you realize that you are creating the situations and all these things.
Correct. So
Yeah, and
let's look
top
at
of it, he's
yeah.
also saying that to have that love and compassion also.
Yeah.
I mean,
When you
the
ultimately
ultimate goal is
realize
only
that,
one. Ultimate goal is only one.
Yeah. That
When
love.
there are two people involved, more than one involved, that love translates to compassion.
Yeah,
When more than two are involved, it becomes help.
Yeah, That is why Gandhiji said, always, show other cheek when somebody hits the
I mean,
one cheek.
ma'am, if you don't mind, I hate Gandhiji.
Oh, okay. Sorry. One more. The
No,
other,
he
okay.
is a hypocrite.
Okay. Let us not talk about. But another
I
one.
know.
I just want to mention one
No,
example.
the
I
point
heard.
is taken. The point is
Yeah.
taken, but that name brings in
Yeah.
bad memories.
But I heard from somebody that when Patriji, when some people came to Patriji's house, when Patriji's mom was serving, and Patriji and others dinner, because Patriji loves one particular, brinjal curry, like eggplant curry, she was putting more in Patriji's plate. Immediately, Patriji said, "Why are you doing this, Amma? Why are you doing this, Mom? Serve others also same way. Don't put in more in my
This
plate."
is the question Surekha raised. Beautiful
Yeah, I
example,
know.
ma'am.
Yeah. Then immediately he said, "Don't do that. Treat everybody as your sons."
Correct. Beautiful manifestation. The only reason why I said Gandhiji is not because I don't respect him, but he did not really practice this. He practiced one side of it. Because people like Veer Savarkar, Bhagat Singh, those people have been called traitors by him, which is not true. Right? That is the reason why I don't like him. Anyway, let's come back. So what did Seth say?
So
Man was not allowed to play with more dangerous toys until certain evidence was given that he had gained some control. That to gain this control, we needed to create a physical reality and its vulnerability, time lag, and concrete results. Right? That is the comment Barry is adding. This does not mean that he could not destroy the world that he knew. It simply meant that such destruction was not inevitable.
That's why people are scared for this AI. See,
Correct.
now that's what even this in this coming book he explained. I mean, I heard the introduction. He's saying it is going to harm more and the memory
It will end up making us dependent on that, and that itself is the injury.
Yes, that's what he said. We lose a lot of natural abilities.
Right? You do not give a child a loaded gun if you are certain he is going to shoot himself or his neighbor. Now, the weapons in the destruction are the obvious things that you see. Their counterparts. The counterparts to the weapons and destruction are not so evident, and yet it is the counterparts that are important. These counterparts are the self-discipline learned, the control, the compassion that finally is aroused, so that the final and last lesson is learned, the positive desire for creativity and love. My note, which is helping and not harming others, over destruction and hatred. That is what is learned. When this is learned, the reincarnational cycle is finished. Right?
So, sir, I have a comment.
Yeah.
See, for a mother, her sphere of love is her children. And she would like to see that happiness in her children's faces. And so Patriji's mother, when she is serving with her own limited knowledge, for lack of better words, she wanted to feed Patriji. Okay. So she is not wrong in her own sphere of, distributing her love. At the same time, she did not do any harm to others.
No. No, one thing she missed.
Hmm.
Is there Patriji, only Patriji in that crowd who loves that vegetable? Are you aware of it?
Before you go there, I want to give you an example. Okay.
Give.
No, my daughter, like, when she was through the 12th grade, I sent her to Princeton or some other place, and then she got good grades and SAT scores and all that. So we were going through that. She told me that, Dad, I wouldn't have got it unless you had sent me to Princeton. I said,
Okay.
yes. Then she said, no, many of my classmates did not have the ability to go to Princeton, and so they were left behind. I said, I cannot help it. I cannot help so many people to go to Princeton training. Right? So I did not do any harm to those people, right? Those her classmates.
If
And
you
it
had
is
they come
exactly
in
the
touch
same
with you,
example
they
as
are
Patri.
no. They are not the same. You sent your daughter. If your daughter had come and told you that there are a few more of my friends who are interested in going, right? They may need help from you. Then if you had shied away, then you have failed.
Okay.
Are you getting the point difference between the two?
Yes.
Right? Suppose your next version of realization would have gone to the extent, oh, there may be others who are like my daughter. What I am doing for my daughter, can I create a forum which can take care of them? Then you have completed your learning. Otherwise, you are only partial in your learning. Are you getting the subtle difference between the three?
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So, as a parent, you would have probably created a collection of parents and said, we are all parents. We have got two. That is why in spiritual tablets, your family is biological and
Spiritual.
spiritual. You got it? Right? So you created a physical reality. From that, you are learning that this is not just my physical reality. My physical reality has got two parts. One is the actual physical, and the other one is F1. F2. Got it? Aligned to the theme, that is what it is. That is why in the olden customs, right, at least in Andhra Pradesh I have seen, and something similar should have been there in every other culture, every other state. What is that? That is basically the practice of adopting one kid, a family, to take care of all their needs till they are self-sufficient. Right? There would be one poor kid who is coming to the family of a locality, right? His needs, his educational needs, his living needs, all these were taken care of. In Telugu, they used to call it Varalabbai. One who would come on a weekly, one day a week basis, where we extend our support to him. All his needs of that one day are taken care of. Right? Those were ingrained in the lifestyle. That is how those dots of life were connected. Yeah. Go ahead, Sureka.
Yeah, this reminded me. This used to be like, especially I can't speak to other cities and all, but in at least in Hyderabad and Andhra, like if you are in a city, like especially my father, right? He was in Hyderabad, of course, working and all. So his brothers, like kids, were in all village. So they used to come and stay here, like in Hyderabad, and he used to like do everything for them, studying,
No,
like
but then you said they are your relatives.
relatives,
Right?
but
No,
still
but
they're not
then we
own
were
blood,
doing
right?
it.
But
No,
yeah,
what this is talking of is there is no blood relationship. He is
the
another
far
human
relatives.
being, right? The relationship is not of any kind other than humanity. That is the word relationship.
Hmm.
See, what you're saying as an experience, the minuscule version of relationship is blood.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Mm.
beyond blood, you can think of community, you can think of place, you can think of the species, right?
Mm.
Beyond
Mm.
species becomes the universe. So you need to learn all those flavors. That is why you have all those physical components. That is the message.
Yes, sir, I agree. But what my comment was like, at least in those days,
Yeah,
those kind of things happened. Like somebody used to come and stay. But nowadays, like in this
Yeah, yeah.
hybrid
Yes.
thing, no relative
Mm.
comes up so
well,
far
your parents
village.
are not your parents today.
Yeah.
Why go
And-
that far?
yeah,
How
yeah.
many people are really taking care of your parents?
Very few. Older parents have tough
Then
time.
by throwing money at them, are you really taking care of them? Think. Think. By throwing money at them, are you really taking care of them? Look at the depth to which that single sentence, take care, can extend itself, can stretch. Got it?
True, sir. Yeah.
Right? So now, how is everything tied and woven with love? I don't know whether we really need to discuss this because this is what we have been discussing right from the beginning. Right?
So
Yes
only
or no?
10 more pages left.
No, not even 10. This is the last page, another 2 or 3 pages. No, not even 3.
So the whole book is done
Yeah, the
after
book
this.
is done. Done.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Today we'll finish, sir.
we have finished.
Mm.
We have actually finished. It is those doubts, those dots that have come through all the leaves of the book so far. Is how are they connected? Why are they connected? We have already gone through that phase, so I really don't want to talk about it.
Oh, in order to learn that we create our own reality via
Exactly,
our
yes.
beliefs and emotions and expectations. Yeah.
Right?
Yes. He's
So
saying,
what
yeah.
is that? Is there anything, any sets? Okay. So with love, there would be no, so without
we can
love,
go.
there would be no reality. That's the end, basically.
We can go little bit up and read the pink color.
No, it's the same thing. Whatever we have been talking, love is key to the foundation of Seth material and the whole secret, whose overall message is we have chosen to be the physical beings with countless reincarnational cycles. In order to learn, we create our own reality. He is repeating the same thing that we have discussed so far.
Via our beliefs, our emotions, and expectations.
Yeah.
Attracting people and events via the law of attraction. And in doing so, we are to help and not harm others. As Seth says, to arouse compassion within ourselves.
Within ourselves. Yeah. And because there is no new message in this. It is like
No,
we can. Pardon?
yeah. No, he's asking why. What is that? He in the top.
Where?
Because I didn't go through all this.
The question.
Mm,
How
no,
is
yeah, in
everything
between.
tied and woven with love?
Yeah.
That is the one.
Okay.
And we have been talking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very, very in-depth book. Any questions, any answers, any discussion on this topic?
A simple topic, but he has, explained or went into so many details and all. Like I don't think typical man will think about so much about love
Correct.
being in this
Yes. Yeah.
mundane life. or going through, like,
Yes.
regular chores of family
I
life and
know.
other things.
Right.
Sir, I have
So
learned
he's
in
taken
between.
us.
Sorry, teacher.
Yeah, Kavita ji.
Yes, yes. Sir, I
Yeah.
am curious about this thing that how everything is projected from F1 to F2.
The addiction.
No, projection means our
How?
reality is projected. How it is? Everything is happening.
You want an example of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, as a soul, for undergoing certain experiences, we have chosen our parents, our friends, our siblings. Like he talks about the painting. Suppose you are an artist, right? You have created the painting. In the background of that painting, what have you created? You have envisioned a scenario. In that scenario, you have envisioned the parents, the siblings, the friends, and then all of you getting together, spending time together. Let us say that is the picture.
Mm.
The picture that you have to undergo is going to be the hidden lessons within. What are they? One lesson can be the attachment with all those people. The other lesson can be detachment with those people. So how do you learn them? Attachment and detachment. How are you going to learn? You are going to write the actions for each one. Right? In that frame that you have created in your mind based on, I need to undergo such and such an experience because I want to learn this. Some quality. So you create an enactment and convert it to a play or a movie. That means you have exteriorized the replication of what you wanted to learn in the process, correct?
Mhm.
Right? Now, that is what is projected reality. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So your soul has projected what you are experiencing in your life today.
So why the soul projects this way? Means
To
why the
learn,
dreams?
to learn, to learn. See, the entire
But some
universe,
major incidents
suppose you want to
happen.
become better. Suppose you want to become better. Let us look at it this way. I did my engineering studies.
Mm,
Okay,
mm,
right? I took up a job. I started learning, right? What I did in my college could only give me 20% of the knowledge that is required to survive in a job, subject to the subject which I learned. All the fundamentals were there. All the ability to use them effectively was there. But it was only 20%. Till I took up the job, because I worked in the computer industry. I worked in both hardware and software and firmware. So the 360 degrees of the computer was covered. Right from chipset, assembling it to a board to a functionality, testing the functionality, right? Malfunction, rectification, all this I have gone through. But otherwise it would have become theoretical, right? Are you
mm.
getting the point?
Yes,
Now,
yes.
when I have gone through the practice of this, when someone else is struggling with that subject, in the application of that particular computer, which is malfunctioning, I can sit here and guide him.
Mm,
I don't need to learn more about the computer
mm,
beyond that. It's only a question of variation of the application, right?
mm,
So for me to get that grinding, for me to get that real application, the hands-on experience, which is required for me, preparing me in the progression of the universe at large. Got it?
Mhm. Yes.
Right. So there are various stages. I think you should join spiritual tablets so that you get a complete view of what is all this about. Spiritual tablets is one of the wings of PSSM. It will
Mhm.
give you a lot of clarity about life by itself.
So my one another question was, why the soul is undergoing so
Why
much
this?
pain? Why the soul is undergoing so much pain? Suppose,
Because it wants to learn.
but sometimes someone gets handicapped and
Can you be a little bit louder?
trauma.
Somewhere the voice is not coming clearly.
So, someone is going through some trauma or they are
Okay.
handicapped. Why they are going
Yeah.
through so much pain?
That is an
There is so much
experience
pain.
that they have created for this life.
But why they want to learn all these? Love could be the answer.
No,
Then
no,
why are they
see,
going?
even that is love. That is teaching them everything.
Mhm.
That is the entire object of the purpose of the universe and the plan of the universe. Right? We are thinking in a limited manner. Why all this?
Mhm.
Right? We are thinking, but think about it from the universe perspective. Unless you undergo that experience, the universe will not know not to do it, right?
Mhm.
Correct. See, everyone is empowered with nuclear bombs today.
Mhm. Mhm.
The first nuclear bomb was hit on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yes.
They called it an atom bomb then,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Till they did that, they did not realize that it
Mhm.
has got so many negative impacts. But the same power they harnessed to generate the power that is required, the electricity, the same nuclear approach is used to generate electricity,
Yes.
right? So how do they learn?
By
Right?
experimenting.
By experimenting. This is that experiment because Earth is uh,
Cool.
one planet that has been created in this universe to act as the teacher. There is no specific teacher. We have to teach ourselves. And how do we teach? We teach because of this birth and death cycle, in which
Mhm.
we undergo various experiences, and those experiences are the lessons that we have to learn. There are two kinds of lessons. One is personal, the other one is universal. So that is the purpose of the soul. Yes, Meena ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, in our life also, right? Like when we look back, I think we have evolved the most when we had hit some hardship, right? I mean, for my own example, I feel like I moved towards spirituality more after my accident, and I almost felt like I could have died that day. So
Correct.
something like this, some hardship of some sort, always kind of becomes the uh, push that we need to go towards higher purpose or go towards our evaluation.
Yes.
These kind of incidents in people's life could be just that too. I mean, they look,
It is the same. It is not
yeah,
could be. It is.
yeah, yeah. But
It
at that
is.
time, they look like, we feel like, why is this happening? That's not
Yeah.
good, because with our knowledge at that time. But when we look back, I think we understand that that was maybe it
Yes.
was like blessing in disguise, the best thing that happened to us.
No, that is the way we do it after, right?
Yes.
But initially we'd say, why the hell me?
Yes.
Right? So that becomes the process of learning.
True. True.
We have still 15 minutes of our time, Kirti. But what is the overall experience of this Q&A book? Those who have been regular will be able to comment. Anybody?
One thing I got, sir, if I can share, and I haven't been very
Yeah. That's
regular,
the
but
objective.
but I feel like step one, it's kind of making us realize that we are really like an actor in this drama of life. And if we can have that detachment perspective and we can look at it that way, then even the person who is playing, like, you know how in movie, I mean, the actor who is playing the villain role, maybe like, you know, the hero and villain are best friend in real life, but they are just playing their parts. So I think when we learn that, then it's easy to get to that next step where you don't want to hurt anybody, even if that person is really harming you in that play of life or that drama of life.
Correct. Very, very, very simple way he has taught all of those to us. I'm really blown away. I've read this book earlier, but discussion is what is giving us the clarity of what it means. Great. Then, Kirti, you can stop the recording, okay? I will stop it. No problem. No, I can't.